Hello, I'm back after lockdown and nationals and all the requests to do another trunk review. 2 years have gone by and I've managed to get hold of probably the best trunk for me, and that's the Mizuno GX 5 MR, and I'm going to be doing a review of that today. So originally I got this suit in preparation for December nationals and I got it off eBay from a seller, which is probably the best way to get a Mizuno since you have to import it from Japan. And I got it for around £330 after all the taxes and all the fees that I had to pay because it was obviously imported from Japan. But now prices have dropped after all the new releases of the Neo line, Streamlines, and there's another pair that I haven't had a lot of time to research. But in Mizuno you have the Sprinter model and the multi-racer originally, and I got the multi-racer as I'm a long distance swimmer that's well rounded. I like doing my IMs, I like doing my 200 flies and backstrokes, and I found this suit amazing for stuff like 200 IMs, 400 IMs. I've swum backstrokes in it, but by far the best race to doing these is flying breaststrokes. And breaststrokes, you will be surprised of the hamstring taping that you'll see later on because it pulls your legs back, but it's incredible. The way it lifts you, I take off 2 seconds just by wearing this suit on my 200 IM split, and there's my PB. As I got this suit, pretty much when it was released, I had to get the original blue colorway, and I got it in the size small, which is about equivalent to a 22 in UK sizing. But I'll be honest, after a year, I really need to size up. I'm probably going to switch to medium next year for summer nationals because the compression in these is absolutely incredible, and I don't think any other suit can mimic it. Apart from probably the ST models, which I see a lot of sprinters wearing, especially at the top end of nationals. In British nationals, I think the 100 fly swimmer won it, who I raced, and he was wearing the GX 5 STs, which is also a good suit, but it's not very suited for me. Alright, so taking a look at the box, it's very minimalistic and probably not as good as some of the ones that come from Speedo and Arena. You've got the size guide there, and all the instructions are actually in Japanese, so they're not very useful. Taking a look inside, it's going to be the blue colorway, like I've already said, and inside the box you do get a few cards and stickers and size charts. So you can see I purchased the small version, and you do have to take these off the trunks when you first get them. Putting all of this to the side, you have the actual trunk. The material is actually excellent. It's definitely more durable than the other options that you can actually just straight up buy in England. Probably you've seen all of them when you're swimming at your meets. You've got the stalls and they sell Arena, Speedo trunks, but I assure you no other material is quite like this. It's got sort of like a waxy feel to it, which is a lot different to the other ones. Also, in Speedos, all the seams seem to be on the outside of the trunk, but one of the things that Mizuno claims to be innovative is that the seams are all inside the trunk. This means that they can put the material all over the outside and reduce the drag rather than having a bump come out like in the Speedo Laser Racers X and also the Pure Intense, which have a sort of bumpy texture on each seam on the outside, which seem to slow you down rather than speed you up. So taking a look at the taping arrangement, you can see we've got dual taping going back down the hamstrings. What this does is similar to the Speedo Pure Intent. It pulls your legs up during the end of a race when you start getting tired and your leg kick starts slowing down and getting smaller. So you can see one of them goes all the way down the trunk right to the bottom of it, and the other one goes from your hip down to the middle. So this creates a much better up thrust compared to a seam that just goes straight down the middle and is a single one. Moving on to the front, instead of a tag, it's obviously printed onto the suit, which is a lot nicer because then you don't have to flip around with the tag and worry that's coming out your back. The tying system is also really good. I prefer this over, I think it's the Speedos, which already have a knot in the trunk, while here you do have to do the 2 normal knots yourself. So the materials in these trunks, I think there's 3 different materials being used, and the front one is extremely light and flexible, so it gives your quadriceps a lot of range of motion for the breaststrokers and everywhere where you need to contract your quads a lot for movement and be able to go quicker. Moving on to the back, you've got the same material as this blue one, but just in a different colorway, and all of this black material around the back, it's all dual layered. So you've got 2 layers separating the water in your body. What this does, it creates an air gap for air to obviously get in. What that does is it lifts your hips a lot higher in the water, and it puts you in a much better position for more efficient swimming, as there'll be less drags caused by your hips sinking to the bottom. You can definitely feel this at the end of a 200. I mean, for IM, on the breaststroke leg, on the 200 IM, you feel your hips actually like rising, and I'm not normally a breaststroker, but it feels great. As I said before, I took off 2 seconds completely on my 200 IM just because of my breaststroke split, and that 2 seconds was during the breaststroke split, and I feel like these trunks managed to get me that. So looking at the color, it's actually it's a very good design. I like it quite a lot, and it looks a lot better than a lot of the other offerings from Arena and Speedo. If you look at the back, it's got this really nice wavy water pattern. It kind of looks like you're already in the water. And another benefit of this is that when you're standing around and all your coaches want to see you, parents want to see you, it's actually a really nice color for people to be able to see you, as it's vibrant. So you got the dark navy front and then a wavy watery pattern at the back. Also, not a lot of people wear Mizunos, so it's also very distinguishable from something like a Speedo or an Arena suit. It's obviously FINA approved, like any other high tier racing suit. And one thing that it is missing that I think I would like on it is having the silicone waistband, because this waistband is actually, here you go, it's actually fraying a bit on me, so I'm worried about the longevity of this. But again, I have used this for 2 nationals, one being winters and the other being summer, and the summer one was a whole week. I did 5 events and 9 races overall, including finals. And then I also probably shouldn't have done this, but I was doing warm downs in them because I didn't want to get changed it, because the turnaround was so fast that I needed to get my 1.2k in my warm downs. So that probably contributed to the wearing out of these trunks. Also, I don't understand why all the major suit brands do this, but they always have a bit of stitch seaming. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit of stitch seaming on the outside, which I do feel like slows it down a bit. It just breaks the material, and it gets that's where it starts getting wet from. And it's got one more stitch seam down the back of the suit, but it's no different from any other brand. Every other brand has these like odd stitch seams that probably hold in the taping. So yeah, that was the overview of the suit. Here you're seeing my 200 fly final at the British 2022 Summer Championships. I'm in the furthest lane up top, which I believe is lane 9. And I end up coming 6th in this final, coming in last, I think. And this is mainly due to my slower first 100, which in heats I went out a minute compared to here 101. But I still need a bit more on the back end in order for me to start getting the podium positions. But I'm going to leave this on, and I would love for everyone to comment what they would like to see next. I'm still going to be doing trunk reviews. I have another pair of Mizunos that are more budget orientated, and I wonder if you would like swimming analysis, like playing this video and talking about what went right, what went wrong, and if hopefully you could learn from it. So anyways, I'll keep playing this video, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later.
From Thurrock, and it is only 0.37 of a difference. Jenkinson in second position behind Chakarin, Fleming, McMillan. That's the top four. They are going really well. The centre line's not really featuring at the moment as they come to this final turn. It is very, very close at the front of the field though as they come into the 150 mark. Matthew McMillan giving chase here to the leading two, and just in the lead it is Fleming with Jenkins and McMillan. Only 5/100ths of a second separating the top three here. What have the swimmers in the centre lanes got to offer on this final 50? McMillan in lane number 2. In lane number 6, it's Scott Fleming. Here comes lane number 4 as well. Samuel Ryan making a late charge here. Scott Fleming in lane number 6. It is Ryan in lane number 4. McMillan in lane number 2. They surely will be the medalists. It goes to Scott Fleming. Samuel Ryan in silver medal position.